This is Brent with the Brookbush Institute live at the Independent Training Spot, bringing you guys a quick Glute Max and Glute Med activation circuit, and all you need is a Fitloop. I'm going to have my friend Jordan come out. Now, many of you guys have asked, how do I get so much done inside of an hour with all the release and activation and reactive activation and core and subsystem integration and resistance training and all this stuff that has to be done? Well, little protocols like this, like I'm about to show you, that help you get 3, 4, or even 5 exercises done in quick succession definitely help shorten your overall time or get more done within the same amount of time, which is going to help you guys be more effective as you get more techniques in the amount of time allotted for your patients or clients. Now, this particular circuit is going to start with Clams side lying leg raise, and then we're going to go to that Glute Max activation that I did in the previous video, and then we're going to do bridges. Now, I should mention, you've done all of this stuff in previous videos with me. Usually, I use an ankle weight. I prefer ankle weights. Ankle weights have a nice even resistance. I think it's important to be strong in all positions. There's a little bit of a lesser effect with a band that only gets resistance at end range, but ankle weights are generally expensive and they're heavy, so they're not very portable. Something like a Fitloop, I can make sure that Jordan takes with him no matter what gym he goes to. If he's gonna go play basketball, if he's gonna go play football on the weekends, he can still take his Fitloop with him and do this as a warm-up. And it's cheap. I can give these out. This is $2.50 as opposed to an ankle weight that might cost me anywhere from 15 to 40 bucks. All right, so Jordan has had some problems with a weaker glute on the right side due to some lumbar pathology, so we're going to stick all of this on the right side. Ideally, I'd have Jordan do this up against a wall, but for reasons of shooting this video and just being here so I can talk and demonstrate this exercise, I'm going to go ahead and act like Jordan's wall, and he's going to start with an exercise you've all seen. So let's go ahead and do those clams. Try not to roll back at your pelvis. Hold for 2 and back down nice and slow. Now, I will say, Jordan's done these a few times. It will probably take you a couple sessions or maybe 3 sessions to teach people all of the cueing that goes along with these few exercises. I'm going to quickly talk about some of the overactive synergists and some of the cues that I use in these exercises that have been in previous videos. But we're going to try to run through this and see just how long it takes us. So this is our 5th rep, right? Yep. Good. Down, 2, 3, 4. So we can either do that 4-2-2 count, concentrating on eccentric load, or sometimes what I like to use is a 2-4-2 count if I want to concentrate on that end range. So I can go up for 2, hold 2, 3, 4, back down for 2. All right, how many is that? 8?
8, 9.
All right, let's go for 12. All right, you guys can remember that your activation exercises, we're talking between 12 and 20 reps at that 4-2-2 or 2-4-2 count. 1 to 2 sets. This isn't something you're going to do 3 or 6 sets of. This is going to be part of Jordan's integrated warm-up before he works out. Good. Where are we at?
This is 12 right here.
Good. So as soon as he finishes this, now I'm going to have him go into this side lying leg raise. Boom. Now, notice that the way this band is, if he keeps this bottom leg bent, he has to use his glute to extend this leg back, which means this glute max is already active, helping us to reciprocally inhibit that overactive synergist of the TFL, and he goes right back into side lying leg raise. All right, slow down a little bit. Speeding up is cheating on these exercises. I want it to burn, and he's dying a little bit. Good. We've already done a couple takes. Can't totally blame this on Jordan. This is like set number 4 for him. Normally I wouldn't do that to him. Good. And you can see him pushing real hard to keep his leg back and just going through that same side lying leg raise that we went through in that previous video. Now, as soon as we get through 12 here, all Jordan's going to do is flip onto his belly. All right, you ready? Let's go prone. Now, if you guys remember from the Glute Max activation video, he's got to draw in to keep his lumbar extensors out of it. All right, he's got to make sure his quad's real tight and his knees locked. I'm going to have him point his toe. And then to keep adductor magnus out of it, he needs to abduct a little bit. Well, if he abducts a little bit, I get a little gluteus medius activation because of this band, right? I get a little bit more resistance, and I'm going to have him go into extension with a slight amount of abduction against that band. And just because that band's there, this is going to be a little harder. You don't have to quite abduct so much, Jordan. Good. There you go. Perfect. Get a nice glute contraction, squeeze. I want him to get his leg only as high as he can get it by squeezing his glute. I don't want him cheating and starting to arch at his back. Good. And he can do 12 to 20 reps. Especially an exercise like this, I'll usually do that 2-4-2 count, really make him squeeze at the top. This range of motion's real short. Good. Remember, people don't have a whole lot of hip extension to begin with. Good. Good. Let's go ahead and flip on your back, and the next thing we're going to do, that's his activation exercises. Now we're already moving into core. All right, so I'm going to have him line up his feet, knees, and hips. All right. If he was doing this at home, I'd have him do it off the floor. If he was actually doing this here with me, I'd probably do a ball bridge rather than a floor bridge. But for ease, we'll just do this right here like this. Go ahead and squeeze your glutes up tall. Now the challenge for him is to make sure that he maintains optimal hip, knee, and ankle alignment and doesn't let this band drive his knees inward and then back down nice and slow. How's that right glute starting to feel?
Feels good, activated, definitely.
You guys will notice that as you start going further and further into this, you start to burn real bad. And now if I wanted to go even further with this circuit that I've created, I could go right into reactive integration, right? So I've done my isolated activation with the Clams, sideline leg raise, glute max activation. Then I'm doing my bridges for my core work. My reactive activation could be that sidestepping circuit, right? He's already got the band on, so I could have him stand up and start doing all of those different sidestepping patterns, whether it's lateral, zigzags back and forth, sideways zigzags, or quarter turns, and just make sure his glute is real active. And we're getting a little conditioning going before he starts his resistance training or starts his support. Or if we're just doing this in a therapy environment, at least I'm continuing to progress him so that he continues to see results. I hope you guys really enjoy this circuit. I hope you guys see how I start to create protocols. This makes a great home exercise program. I will talk with you guys soon.